Hello everyone. In this session, we are going to talk about the tables in Power BI. Tables visually present data in a structured tabular format, displaying the multiple rows and columns of information. They are commonly used to present the detailed data sets and facilitate the comparisons between different data points. Tables offer the flexibility in arranging and formatting the data, making them suitable for presenting both the raw data and summary statistics. So let's see how can we create these tables in Power BI. So to create tables in Power BI, I have this option and the icon of creating a table. I can click on it. And as we know, the table represents the data in this row and column format. So for that, if I click on it, I have these columns option over here. Now, whenever I'm talking about the tables option over here, the only data field that I'll be having is this columns part. So to create a table, it is very simple. What you need to do is you need to drag and drop these values over here. So right now, let's say I want to see what is the different profit in different subcategories. For that, I will drag and drop this subcategories in columns, and then I will drag and drop this profit in this columns. And in this way, I can see the values over here. Now, let's say if you want to see multiple values, for example, what was the sales, what was the quantity that was being sold. So you can just drag and drop these values. Either you can drag and drop it over here, or you can just directly drag and drop it on the top of this visualization itself. So I have put sales right now. Then I will find quantity and put it. So here is a quantity, drag and drop it on this visualization. Now let's see it in focus mode. So at first we have this subcategory. Then I'm having this sum of the profit, then sum of the sales and sum of the quantity that has been sold. Let's say if you don't want to see the aggregation as sum, if you wanted to see what is the average profit that each subcategory is making, in that case, you again can head back to this columns part. And you can see right now that whenever I'm taking this profit or any measure value, any particular numeric value, by default, the aggregation is done on the basis of sum. So you can come on this value where it says sum of profit and you will find this arrow. You can just maximize this and you can find that there are various aggregation measures that are present inside every numeric column. By default, it is taking sum. And let's say if you want to see the average, you can choose average. And then it would show you the average of profit also. Again, click on this and you can see there are multiple values that are present inside it. So I have the minimum value, maximum value, count distinct, count, and other measures like standard deviation, variance, and median with me. So in this way, you can quickly change the kind of aggregation that it is trying to show you. Again, let's say if you want to compare the average of profit and also side by side, you wanted to see what is the profit that I'm making. So again, I can drag and drop this profit on this. And then it would also show you the sum of the profit along with this average of profit. Now, let's say if you want to sort these values, what can you do? So first I will remove few values from over here. So I can remove the sum of profit and the average of profit. Right now I'm only having with me the subcategories, sum of sales and sum of quantity that has been sold. Now I want to look at it in the increasing or decreasing order. For that, what I can do is if I hover over to any particular value, you can see these arrow icon appear. So if you click on this, you can see now the value has been sorted in the descending format. If you want to arrange it in ascending format, again, you can click on this arrow and then the value would be arranged in ascending format. So in this way, you can try to change these values and you can pick any measure and then you can sort these values accordingly. Now let's talk about the formatting options that are available in this table. So if I go in this format your visual, there are various options that are presented. The first one is the style presets. So what exactly happens over here is that if you have worked in Excel, you can see that the title, the subtotals, and the totals are represented by a unique colors or fonts. Sometimes these style formatting can be tricky. Let's say if you don't want to format the visual and you want to change these fonts one by one. So in that case, you can go in this style presets. And I have these multiple presets available over here. So you can choose any preset over here and it would then try to modify your table. So right now by default, the option is set to default. Then I have this minimal option. You can see the format has now changed. The font type would change and also it would try to include few lines over here in the horizontal direction. Then I have this bold header option where it is making this header bold. Similarly, I have this alternating rows option where every alternative row would be colored. So you can see this light gray colored has now appeared in every alternating row. Then I have this contrast alternating rows, flashy rows, bold header flashy rows, sparse and condense. So you can try all these presets, and whatever preset is suiting your need, you can try to use that one. So let's use flashing rows for now. So you can see now the alternating rows have been colored in a darker way and the others one in the lighter way, and these are a bit flashy. So let's keep it as default for now. Let's say if you don't want to use this presets, in that case, what you can do is you can use these values of formatting. So the first one is the grid option. Let's say if you want to highlight these values with the help of any grid. So here I have this horizontal grid option. And over here, if you turn it on, then you can change the color. So let's try to keep the color as a darker shade. So let's keep it as red. You can see this red grid line has now appeared after every row. Then if you want to increase or decrease the width of it, I have this width option. So you can try to increase or decrease the width of it as it suits your needs. So let's keep it as 2 for now. In a similar way, if you want the grid lines in the vertical direction, you have this vertical grid lines. So click on it and the lines would appear over here in the vertical direction. Again, you can try to change the color of it, and you can also change the width of these vertical grid lines. Then right now, I'm not able to see any kind of border around my table. So in that case, you can go to border and you can select at what position do you want the borders to be. If you want it everywhere, you can just directly select these options, or individual borders can also be applied. Let's say if you just want to keep it the borders at top and bottom, you can also select these top and bottoms. But I'm not liking this empty part over here, so I use this right and left option as well. So in this way, you can try to format your tables by applying the borders. Then I have this option. So if you want to apply any kind of padding to your table to leave that empty space inside or outside, you can also use it. Then if you want to make changes in the values in terms of the font type, the font size, or if you want to make it bold, you can choose the option from this part. So right now I'm not making it as bold because I just want to show these total values in the bold format. You can try to change the text color. You can try to apply any background colors over here. So you can see this alternating text has not been colored right now because I'm having this alternating text color over here. So I can choose these colors and I can try to make it them even. So let's keep it as black for now. It's not looking too good. Then if your text is not able to show properly over here, you can use this text wrap option to turn it on or off and try to fit these values. Then if you want to change these column headers and if you want to apply the formatting on the top of it, you can use this column headers option. Let's make them bold for now. You can also try to control the colors over here and you can align these. So let's also keep them as centrally aligned. Then the last part over here, which is shown, is the total part. So for the total parts, I have this totals option and you can control this totals from over here. So let's say if you want to make it bold, which is already bold right now, if you want to change the font size, color, everything can be done from over here. So these were some of the important things that you can do while you're working with the tables in terms of formatting. Then the next one is the journal one, in which you can try to change the properties of it in a general way, like the size of the visual, how many pixels do you want to keep it, if you want to give any kind of title over here. So let's say I want to give the title as subcategories profit. So over here, what I can do is I can use this title option and I can write the title over here, sales in subcategories. You can see the sales in subcategories title has appeared over here. Now again, you can try to modify this title by making it bold, changing the font size, and also you can change the font colors over here. And I will make this centrally aligned. So in this way, you can try to add the title in your table. Then again, if you want to add any subtitle or any divider spacings or any effects, you can also control this over here. So this was the way in which you can try to create a table, and over here you can add multiple values and you can sort. So there is no foundation in adding any values over here. You can add as much values as you want, and all these values will be coming over here in this columns part. So if I again go over here in the columns part, whatever values you want to keep. So let's say if I drag and drop this profit again over here, So this was all for this session. In the next session, we'll be talking about how can you create a matrix in Power BI. Thank you.